guys are going to learn a lot of amazing, great information that's going to enable you to shop with ease, save money, and just learn how to decipher through all the crazy, do I get this, do I not get that, what do I buy, what's good for me, what's not good for me, what do I have to get organic, what do I not have to get organic, all those questions, a lot of questions that people ask me on a regular basis, and that's part of why I do this, so that it takes all the guesswork out for you guys. It makes it easy, okay? So the first question I always like to start with is, so what is our greatest asset?
Our mind.
It's our health, right? So if health is our greatest asset, then we always ask the next question, what is it?
100% function.
All right, so we know that health is 100% function, right? So if health is 100% function, really what we're talking about, 100% function of you, and our body is comprised of trillions of cells. So really what we're talking about is health is 100% function of all of our cells, right? So really, when it comes to food, then would you agree food does matter, because what we put in here is going to end up in those cells, right? Make sense? Okay, so tonight what I'm going to do is I'm going to show you why 4 out of 5 people are being diagnosed with heart disease and cancer in this country right now. Shocking, isn't it? So if health is our greatest asset, we all want to be the 1 out of 5, right? That's why we're here. So there you have it. So if 4 out of 5 people are being diagnosed with heart disease and cancer, then the first question really we should be asking ourselves is why? What's causing that? Well, the answer to that question has already been answered. Back in 2004, in Time magazine, scientists and researchers wrote an article, and the article's talking about what the cause of 98% of all diseases. If you want, go look that up. You can look it up in any library. Time magazine, 2004, and the article is called what? What do you think the name of the article is? What causes 98% of all diseases?
Cancer.
They found, scientists and researchers found, it's inflammation. So it's inflammation that causes 98% of all disease. All right, so now we know what it is. The next question is, so we can avoid that, is what causes inflammation? And there's 4 things that cause that, right? And we went over that at the makeover on Saturday. So for those of you that were there, this is like a refresher. But there's 4 things that cause it. Sugar, unhealthy fats, not good fats, because those are good for us, right? They're healthy, and acidity and toxins. All right, so the good news is there's 3 rules then we should follow if we want to get healthy, stay healthy, and not worry about our bodies breaking down and getting sick. First rule is food by God and food by man. All right, so our bodies are alive. So really, what we should be putting in our bodies are things that are alive, live food. So the first step is eating foods that are by God, not man-made, that have destroyed and denatured the food. We want to stick to the things that belong in here. Rule number 2 is if inflammation is the cause of 98% of all disease, stop making it. All right, so it's real simple. Rule 1, rule 2, stop making it. What does that mean? Reduce sugar, reduce toxins, reduce foods that are acidic, foods that have unhealthy fats, right? So rule number 2 is stop making it. And then rule number 3, which I love, is healing. And so how do we heal it? Well, that's what we're going to show you here today. The number 1 thing to healing all inflammation in the body is healthy fats. I call it putting out the fire. Okay? When you have inflammation in your cells, there's a fire literally going on in the body. So we got to put that fire out. And we're talking a lot about fires right now, aren't we? In the state of California. And it's important to stop making them, right? That's why all our power is shut down. So they tell us. And then the next step is to put them out, right? All right. So that's what we're going to do today. And if you guys have questions, you kind of hold them to the end. You can ask, one here and there. But I'm going to go over everything. But I like questions. So at the end, I want you guys to ask me any questions, anything I don't go over. Please feel free. All right. So the first question I always get from most people is, all right, Doc, well, when do I buy organic and when do I not buy organic? That's one confusing question that people have often. And the answer is very simple. Anything that has a cover on it, any fruit or vegetable that is covered, has a covering, you don't need to buy organic. So let's say, for example, what is one fruit you can think of right off the top of your head that has a covering?
Orange?
Orange, banana. There you go. You answered your own question about that.
What about apples?
What about apples? Now, apples are a good one because they do have a covering, but then sometimes in certain stores where it's not organic, they'll add a shiny wax to that to make them look pretty, right? So you really have to pay attention to what the fruit is in front of you. If it's organic and it's sold here, there's probably no waxy type of stuff on it. But if you shop at another store, your conventional stores, then possibly they do put something shiny. So you got to really pay attention to what you're putting in your basket. How about avocados? Organic or non-organic? Correct, right? It has that hard case on the outside, so you don't have to worry about that one. All right, so that's the first question we get a lot. Since we're in the fruits and vegetable aisle, if you have inflammation in your body, you're on medications, and you have health that's less than desirable, let's say, okay, your blood work's coming back, not looking good, you probably have inflammation going on in your body, and there are tests and markers we can do to find out. So when it comes to fruit's sugar, right? Right?
Yeah.
Fruit is sugar. And there's different levels of sugar in fruit. The ones that we recommend on the advanced plan is the ones with the lowest glycemic level, which is what? Very good. Berries. Berries, also grapefruit, Granny Smith, apple. All this is in the book, the Prusik book, so look that up. And the best time to eat those would be what? What do you think? Morning, noon, or dinner? Yeah, because then our body can burn it off, right? Good question. All right, we're going to move over to the vegetable aisle now, and we'll talk about juicing. On our way over there, here are some tomatoes. Organic or non-organic? Which one would you be buying? Absolutely, right? Yeah. I just gathered some of my own tomatoes out of my garden. That's even better. Fresh off the vine. Okay, so a lot of you here, a little closer. There's a loud fan here, so I'm going to try to get right in here with you guys. So remember what we talked about when we want to reduce inflammation. We said we want to lower the sugar, right? We want to eliminate the unhealthy fats, lower the acidity, lower the toxins. That's really why you're buying organic. You know, when I was a little girl, there was no such word as organic food. Everything was organic. Why? Because herbicides, pesticides, all of the toxic chemicals that they now use to grow our food weren't being used back then. So really what the word means, organic means, is that it's the vegetable, it's the fruit without any toxins. Now, we are going to have toxins in our bodies just by the mere fact of, you know, where we live in our home, there's toxins. The foods that we have occasionally go out for vacation food, we go out and eat at a restaurant, you know, they're all around us. You can't get around them, right? Would you agree? So that's why it's so important that we constantly are filtering our cells and cleaning them out. And that's why one of the reasons we recommend that you juice. There are several reasons. That's one of them, is to purify your cells. The second, maybe should be the first reason we recommend it, is so that you have the live enzymes in your body to break down all of your foods. When I say break down your foods, think of how big, how tiny do you think a cell is? Minuscule, right? So how much does your body need to break that particle down? Yes, Without the enzymes, it can't do that. So we don't know if your body's making enough enzymes, but to assure that, we recommend that you juice, and I'm going to show you some of the things we use for juicing, and I can send you a list of what it is later on. But you want to be able to break those enzymes. You want to get the enzymes out of the fruits and vegetables to be able to break your food down and also to build your cells back up. So that's probably the primary reason why we juice. The second is to make sure that we detoxify the cells. And we can show you the juicer, and we can show you what to juice. But cancer patients primarily use, things that are going to be very good for your body's detoxification. All right, beets are one of them. I'm just going to go show you. I'll just show them to you. Beets, carrots, what we use. We use bok choy, kale, right? Red dandelion greens, and also we use some other things. Why don't you come down here? Here's ginger root. Ginger root is great. We're talking about inflammation in the body. Ginger root is great for reducing inflammation. Also turmeric, which is over here. That's what I was just looking at a little while ago. Right there. There we go. They're big ones, so I don't recognize them. They're smaller. Turmeric is very good for killing cancer also. So every day in my juicer, I put turmeric, I put ginger. And then I put Granny Smith apples, lemons. You want to make it, whatever you prepare your food with, always think in mind, you want to make this interesting because you want to create a lifestyle of things that are delicious to you. Your mouth is made with a lot of, your palate has taste buds. So enjoy your food, make things that are healthy for you, but make it so it tastes good, okay? All right, we're going to move to But the thing about cheese is it's made from what? Cow's milk, right? So the thing is, when it comes to eating cow's milk in its original form, remember, food by God, and then when man gets in there, it becomes food by man, right? So you always want to be thinking about this when you're choosing something to go in your body. I always tell everybody, the first question I ask myself, is this made by God? Or has man had some kind of process in this food that has altered it or changed it? Well, cheese is one of those food items. As soon as the milk is pasteurized, which I don't know if you're familiar with pasteurization, but it's a process where they raise the heat really high to try to kill anything in there that they think, bacteria or whatever, is going to get in your body and cause a problem. But when they do that, they also kill off the enzymes. They denature it. So when you denature something, what does that mean? If we just take a banana, let's say, in its purest form, this is in the organic chemistry set. All fruits, vegetables, our bodies is an organic chemistry set. Think of it that way. Now, when we denature the food, the chemical compound inside of the milk, let's say, for example, has been altered. So it no longer has the bonds and the things in chemistry that we learned. Most of you probably didn't take chemistry, but there's a specific formula that each compound follows to make it that compound. When you eat milk, you completely denature and change all that. So when it goes into your body sees it and says, almost looks at it like it's a foreign object, like, what is that? It doesn't know what to do with it. And so that's where inflammation and disease start to happen. So we recommend, whenever you're picking out cheese, whenever you're picking out milk, try to find it in its wholest form. So I'm going to give you guys the task of coming over here and finding me what you think is a healthy cheese. Okay, once you find it, bring it over here with me. Once you found the cheese you think's healthy, let me see it. Okay. Oh, look at this. We got a quick learner in the crowd.
Oh, yeah.
See that word?
Yeah.
That's what you're looking for, right there. Good job, Annie. You quick learn. Come to
Now,
class
if
with
you guys have done food sensitivity and you're allergic to cheese, then you can't have any of this. Because every time you eat it, you're inflaming your
He's like,
body.
oh, I just thought I got past that one.
Did you get it?
No, she's probably thinking,
Oh,
you know, 'cause
yeah.
it's raw.
Just go to the next aisle. Forget this plate.
Right here. Now, who's been reading the leadership
Mhm.
book? Everybody? Great. Leadership book? Okay. So, who remembers, in terms of seafood, what the best seafood to put on our bodies would be? Salmon. Why? Do you remember? Yes, the omegas, right? The healthy fats. So remember, putting out the fire is our first objective, right? So when we eat salmon, you know, Eskimos, when they did studies on Eskimos, we're talking the original Eskimos, not the Americanized Eskimos, they did not have any signs of diabetes, heart disease, cancer, very low levels of that in their bodies. And a huge part of their diet is salmon. So salmon is very healthy for us because of the perfect omega ratio is what I'm trying to say. Now, the other part is seafood, and by the way, salmon caught in the Pacific Ocean because it's colder waters, less toxic, like the Atlantic Ocean is much more toxic, is the preferred salmon. Now, in terms of the rest of seafood, shrimp, lobster, scallops, crab, most of these things are found where in the ocean?
Bottom.
Bottom. And why do you think they're down at the bottom? They're cleaning the ocean for us. So they're cleaning the ocean, and then we put them in a big pot of boiling water, and we put them in here, and what do we put in here? Yeah. So stick to the salmon Pacific cod. That's the healthiest thing you can put in your body. All right? And next thing we're going to do is we're going to go all the way down to that counter over there. I'm going to sum it up as source. Know your source. And the one thing that we love about the meats here in this store is they really are watching over their meats, how they're grown. They go actually to farms and they check the livestock. They check everything that's the ground. They test the ground, what the animals are eating. They go in depth about what that animal ate before you put it in your body, which is what you want to know, okay? Now, real quick, pork. Who likes pork? Okay. So, a little challenge with the piggies is that they don't sweat. You know, ever notice they're rolling around in the mud? That's how they cool off. We get to perspire, and that's how we cool off. But they don't do that. So, because of that, they have a harder time getting toxins out of their bodies. So it's not on the. That's why it's not on the advanced plan. Okay. We're going to move over here now, down this way. When we talk about red meat, is that on the advanced plan or not? You said no. There we go. Okay. So here's the difference, and we'll make it real simple for you. Before the term grass-fed beef ever came around, all cattle ate grass. So what happened? Well, in the 50s and 60s, burgers became a very popular thing at places that you could go and pick up a burger in the United States. They couldn't get the burgers off of the grill fast enough. So somebody got real smart and said, hey, why don't we start fattening these cows up with corn, because we're not getting our supplies fast enough, and we can get more product faster to the market. So now they started feeding all of our cattle in the last 90 days, or even the full length of the animal, corn, and they're able to get the cows all out to market much quicker. But here's the thing: corn is what? What does it turn to?
Sugar.
Sugar. And so the cow eats that sugar. What happens to the cow? What does sugar cause?
Inflammation.
Inflammation, which is the cause of 98% of all disease. So you're eating the cow that's got inflammation. Now what happens to us? So when we talk about meat, we delineate between the cow, and there's been studies on this, between the cows that are grass-fed, that are healthy or organic, grass-fed, what they're eating. We want to know what the cow's eating before we eat it, right? And then the cows that are corn-fed. The ones that are corn-fed have the disease. That's where heart disease comes from. All the studies on heart disease was based on the cows that were eating corn that were inflamed. You follow? The ones that are healthy are good for us. Now, when it comes to protein in general, we recommend you moderate how much you put in your body anyways. So just because we're talking about eating grass-fed beef doesn't mean you're supposed to sit down and eat a whole pound of steak. It just means that, God, remember, food by God, meant to be in these bodies. I have patients, I was a vegetarian for 7 years myself, that say, hey doc, you're not supposed to eat meat, it's not good for us. Well, I wonder about that. I beg to differ, because if you look at the intestines, and Doc and I become doctors, we had to do that, right? We had to dissect people. We're omnivores. What does that mean? We have an intestine that is designed to break down meat and vegetables. So based on how God made this body, I beg to differ. I'm not so certain that we're supposed to go without meat. I think in moderation is the key there. All right, so keep variety. I like to see a variety. I have a lot of patients come in my office. They are allergic to foods because they don't have variety. They're just eating one thing all the time. And our bodies are set up to have a lot of different foods so we can get all the nutrients we need. You see, you follow? All right, so when you're picking out meats for your family, make sure you always get them at the store. Do not shop for meats anyplace else. This is the best place to get your meat. And when you're picking out red meat, make sure it is 100% grass-fed beef, because they can say 100% grass-fed, but in the last 90 days they give them some grain. So you got to be careful. Read, pay attention, because what you put in your body, does food matter? Yes, food does matter about your health. All right, so when it comes to sausage links, we're going to show you some down there. Some people like these for Sunday morning breakfast. I'll show you in just a moment. Chickens. A lot of people love chicken. Chicken lovers, almost everybody loves chicken, right? Not too many people don't like chicken. Again, always buy them in this store and you won't have to worry about the quality of meat. It's 100% organic. All of the chickens are. And they're in conventional kind of stores. These chickens do not have to be watched and taken care of properly, meaning they can put them in cages, they can have them run around in a coop where there's a lot of, things on the ground that are less desirable. So without any further ado about meat, always get your chickens here.
There's value packs in that section right there, where you can get like chicken breast, chicken thighs.
Down here, Doc's talking about. Down here, this is what we personally buy when we come here.
So remember, there's natural and there's organic. Get the organic. Natural is not as high a standard.
Yes, that's a question we get too. Natural, organic, always organic. When in doubt, organic. All right? Okay.
So who likes sausage?
All right. Who likes yogurt? Yogurt over here.
Oh, not the butter.
Butter. We get the unsalted butter because we salt it with Himalayan salt.
If you want to get raw butter, you might be able to get it from Sprouts. You might have to work overtime because I think it's like
Raw
$13
butter
a
is
pound.
very expensive and hard to find. But, you know, good,
Raw.
better, best. So if you could find raw butter, that's great.
The best.
Mhm.
But
And
good
then-
is organic butter and no salt. Add your own salt.
And add your own salt. We'd like you to get unsalted because we like to use a Himalayan salt instead. It has trace minerals in it that our bones need. It's a much healthier way of doing it. And then you're controlling how much salt you put on there. You know, the body's liquid inside the body is slightly salty. You know, we're like an ocean. You know, ocean's slightly, so it's okay to have it in moderation. All right, let's take a look at the yogurt. All right, here we go. Here's some fun. Pick out a good, healthy yogurt. As soon as you find it, bring it to me. Is this your choice right here? Okay. This is your choice. Okay. Okay. Very similar. You guys have similar tastes. Okay. Why doesn't everybody come on in here for a second? This one's made from coconut milk, so right away that's got a plus. First thing I want you to do when you buy yogurt is look at the label and read it. So who would like to read this one?
The ingredients part.
Okay, organic coconut milk, filtered water, organic coconut cream, rice starch, contains 2% or less of calcium phosphate, pectin, potassium phosphate, locust bean gum, live cultures, vitamin D2, vitamin B12.
Okay, so the gum is sugar too, right?
Yeah, the rice is
So
included.
sugar can be in different names. We showed you that at the makeover, remember? The word that there was one other thing in there that had me a little concerning. So immediately, let's check out the sugar content. That's the first thing you look at. So what does it say? How many grams of sugar per serving in this?
Less than 1 gram.
Less than 1 gram.
Yeah, that's why I chose. This is the only one that has less than 1 gram.
You know
My
what?
sugar is 18 grams.
Yeah, the other one
This
was
one's 18 grams. Okay, see the wide variety of difference? So see why you must read the label. And the sugar content for yogurt is a big one. Now this is made from coconut milk. It's not dairy, you
That
know,
one's
so
sweetened. That
that's
one's
very good.
unsweetened.
I would say this is a good choice that you
Now,
picked. Good
when
job.
they add the vitamins, it's not a good source of
Well,
vitamins.
good, better, best for yogurt. This would be okay.
That would be okay.
That would be okay. I like to see goat yogurt used. Good choice. Good goat. Well, goat milk is not cow's milk, right? And yes. So we have many patients that come in that have colon issues. You know, like ulcerative colitis, Crohn's disease. And this is one of the foods that I recommend that they eat as opposed to dairy.
Goats always eat grass. Cows can eat grain. They feed them grain.
Yeah.
That's information.
But goat's milk seems to be a little more in conjunction with our bodies. So great choice, Verna. Good job. Did anybody else have any other questions? I think that's pretty much it on yogurt. What I recommend you do is get this or Greek, full fat Greek yogurt if you're going to get a dairy, and use fruit, berries, right? If you like the sweetener, we're going to show you some xylitol here in just a moment, and you can sweeten it without sugar, but it tastes just like sugar. You're going to see it's amazing.
For people that have younger kids or snacks, to get the turkey, the roasted turkey sliced, and you can roll that up with like lettuce and cheese, you know, like for your kids, like a little roll up instead of a sandwich.
Again, you want to be careful with the curing. You want oven roasted.
Right,
only.
oven roasted, doesn't have sugar in it. I get it over there. I get it nice and thick, and then it's like the turkey is the bread sort of.
Yes.
And,
So for those of you that Doc's saying, You like your turkey sandwich with mayonnaise
The
and lettuce
gluten and all
whatever.
that. If you can't have wheat or gluten or any of that nonsense.
This is the option,
That's-
the alternative. So you get the oven roasted turkey, and then we'll show you over here some great alternative to mayonnaise. Does anybody use mayonnaise on cake? Come on in here,
the
come
Ezekiel
closer, please.
section.
Oh yeah, who likes to eat bread? It's okay, you can raise your hand. Don't feel guilty. It's okay.
Unless you're allergic to it, or unless
So-
you're on the advanced plan.
If you're gluten-free, you do not eat this. Okay, I'm going to show you for gluten-free people what to do. But for somebody who is already been on the advanced plan, your blood work is looking normal, you're not on any medications, you're losing weight, everything, all your health goals have been accomplished. Now you can have this on occasion. Not all the time, you can have this on occasion, right? We call it a vacation food. So what happens is when you start eating healthier, sugar levels go down in your body. You don't crave sugar like you used to. The reason why people want to have these kinds of things is because their body has become accustomed to too high of sugars, and so they're always craving it. When you start eating healthier, those cravings go down or away. I haven't had a sugar craving in years. I know it's hard to believe, but it's true.
So who likes pizza?
So this, well, let me just tell, this
Okay.
is Ezekiel bread.
They
Ezekiel
have
bread.
different kinds.
Yeah, they have all different kinds.
You gotta read the label.
Sean loves this stuff. Eats too much of it though.
So this is cauliflower crust pizza. You don't have to make your own crust. And then you should make your own sauce, and then mozzarella cheese and all the veggies that you want. And you just bake this in the oven.
Cauliflower crust.
And this is a good treat. So this already
Yes.
comes made. I used to make the cauliflower crust, and that was
And the reason
not
Dr.
fun.
Brass is showing that to you is because it's a little challenge. It's delicious. Cauliflower pizza, if you've never tried it, it sounds kind of strange,
So I
but
only have
it's so
pizza
good.
once a year, but
Tastes
I can have
maybe
this
even
more.
better than pizza.
Like I
It's
only have it
very,
on my
very good.
birthday, which I had last week or so.
The other thing, if you're
No, I had the
gluten-free
real thing.
and you'd like to have an occasional,
This is just on occasion.
if you're gluten-free and you'd like to have an occasional piece of bread, there's gluten. This is all in the freezer section, all right? Okay, and there is also
Line caught, and I eat this once or twice a week.
okay.
Get
So
it Safeway too, by the way.
when it comes to olive oil, there is a difference which olive oil you buy. And I'm not going to ask you to pick out a one that you think is healthy for you. I'm just going to get right to it. The olive oil can become rancid if you don't get a dark bottle. So make sure when you're purchasing your olive oil that you get extra virgin, and it's in a very dark bottle. Those are the only two requirements to keep your oil healthy and not breaking down. All right? Wrong aisle. We want to look at the
Coconut
xylitol.
oil.
Coconut oil, of course. Okay. There's a lot of different stores you can get coconut oil in. This one's not so bad. We've used
That's
this
a
one
good
before.
price too.
And that's a decent price. So we eat at least a tablespoon of this a day. Just eat it.
And you
Is there any
can.
difference between the regular coconut oil and the virgin coconut oil?
Well, you want it a virgin.
A virgin?
Yeah, this one is
Refined, expelled.
unrefined.
but- Yeah, so you definitely want this one here.
We've used this one before for it. Coconut oil is coconut oil comes from a coconut.
So grapeseed oil
most
is
of it's
another
okay.
cooking oil. Grapeseed or coconut.
You just kind of experiment, see which one tastes best to you.
You
But
just don't want to have safflower oil or Crisco or any of this canola oil. Doesn't matter if it's organic canola oil, it's still industrial lubricant in Canada.
we're going to move over to another aisle. Who here likes to bake and cook? Make cookies and cakes and all that stuff.
Well, I'll be expecting some stuff.
I got something coming.
You got something coming.
I'm working on it.
Supervisor to the front end, basically supervisor to the front.
Around. But this is a great product because a lot of people love to bake and just put sugar on things, you know, like toast or whatever. And this is a great alternative because if you look at it, you see the center of this? Doesn't that look like sugar in that window? Yeah. Not only does it look like it, but if I was to put this, let's say you came over to my house and I had the sugar bowl and you used it, you would never question that it wasn't sugar. You would think it was. It tastes identical to sugar. When
That's
you bake,
what we made the brownies with.
when you bake, you can use the same, whatever, say it's a cup of sugar, you use a cup of this. But you just have to be careful because it can kind of give you to the bathroom a little bit. Some people. So you just have to watch that. This is made from the bark of a birch tree.
Of a birch tree.
This came from the bark of a birch tree. So throw your sugar out,
What about monk fruit?
start baking. What's that?
Monk fruit.
Zero.
about that.
Yeah, just check no GMO, 1-to-1 replacement. This
You
looks
gotta
like
look at
it's,
the ingredients.
this looks like zero sugar. There you go.
I'd have to investigate it, but that looks okay.
Yeah, that looks real. That looks like the real
There's
deal.
stevia,
Now,
there's liquid stevia up
Okay.
there.
so what about this one?
I don't like the taste of it, but some people do.
What do you guys think about this one?
Charlie, prepared foods, we thought
No.
Honey.
231 thank you.
Food made by?
But
That
it's
was
all
the first-
sugar.
But let's take a look. Sugar. 17 grams of carbs. Now you gotta understand carbs also on a label. But when it comes to sugar, it says 17 grams of sugar. So the reason why they can say on some labels 0 sugar but 17 grams of carbs is because when carbohydrates hit the enzymes in your saliva, it immediately gets switched into a sugar in the body. So theoretically, they can tell you there's 0 sugar because before it hits your saliva, it is 0 sugar. It might be 17 grams. But the moment it goes in your body, it becomes 17 grams of sugar or whatever. So, yeah, so minimize. It's kind of like the other thing we're talking about, ice cream. If you're going to use this, be very careful. This is very high in sugar. Yes, it's God's food. It's one of my
They
favorite
can say
foods.
agave, they can say natural, they can say all
Yeah.
they want.
Read
It
the
still
sugar.
can
Read
cause
the-
havoc
read the
in your
sugar
body.
content. All right. Well, nuts are in that category. But when you purchase nuts, you want to stay away from anything that has is a roasted nut. Now, why do you think that would be? Why would you want to stay away from nuts that are roasted? Trans fats, right? We don't know if they used coconut oil when they did it, then it would be all right. But most don't. If you read the label, it's like canola oil or, you know, oils that don't belong in the body when they're cooked. So always when you purchase your nuts, make sure they're raw.
It's in the far left over there.
Now, Dr. B.
Oh, there it is.
Dr. B loves his cashews roasted, so he does his own. He rolls this he puts this in a bowl. He puts his grapeseed oil in there. He may put a little salt. He might put a little garlic, whatever your flavor, sugar, whatever your thing
And you
is.
bake it
You can
like
have
300 degrees
and then
for
you
like
put
20
it in the
minutes.
toaster oven and
Maybe 30
put it in a
minutes,
jar.
depending
You
on.
can throw it in your bag when you're running out the door. It's a great little snack, or it's a whole meal.
Just don't eat the whole bag at once. Sure.
Yeah, again, your body can take, this is how smart our bodies are. It can take protein and make sugar out of it.
If
Remember?
you have too much protein, it'll go to sugar.
So that's why we want to be
If
careful
you want
with
to
how much
save
protein.
money, you can get it in the bulk section. So
There's all different flavors over here. I'm just going to show you the flavor we like to use. You know, we talked about this on Saturday for those of you who weren't there. Our grandparents, most of us here, our great-grandparents used to make one-pot soups. And part of the reason that was such a healthy thing that we did a long time ago, not very many people do it anymore, is because the collagen, they use bones, right? They always put chicken bones or whatever kind of bones they had. And the marrow in those bones has collagen in it. So our hair is made of, uses collagen. Our joints, every joint in our body, all the joints in the spine, the disc, everything, all of your organs, everything, all the connective tissue in your body is made of collagen. Every cell is connected by collagen. So how important is that in the body? Your whole body has it. So we recommend that, number one, I like you to get all of your nutrients from food if you can. So the first thing I recommend is beef bone broth. And I have a recipe in the office, you can use that. If you don't want to make it, don't know how to, not good with cooking, whatever, make sure you supplement. And if you have a gut issue, do both. Make the beef broth and drink this every day. Excuse me. Oops, sorry. With this. So we make a shake. We put ice in a blender, a Ninja blender that really can bust it up good. We put this in there, a scoop and a half of this. Thank you. And a tablespoon of Valencia nut peanut butter.
Trader Joe's.
Trader Joe's. Yeah. So yum
By
yum.
the way, I just picked
Do you remember we talked about healthy fats, right? So when it comes to healthy fats, the only oils that you cook with is grapeseed oil, which is what this is made from, and coconut oil, which is my preferred. But some people don't like the flavor. If you like the flavor of coconut oil, cook with it because it has the benefit of healing your cells. If you don't like the flavor of coconut oil, then you can use grapeseed oil. That's what this is made from. You can use avocado oil. The thing about oil, so for example, like olive oil, you should not cook with it because it can become rancid. As soon as you see it get that smoke when you're cooking with it, that right there, immediately it has turned into a bad fat. So I don't like to take a chance with it. I only cook with grapeseed oil or olive oil because I know that it has a high threshold to the heat and it's never going to transfer over into that trans fat. All right? So you take some of that wonderful oven roasted meat, you take the Vegenaise, you layer it on there, you roll it up, there's your lunch. Easy, right? Easy breezy. We like easy.
So when I make cashew chicken or anything stir fry, I use this. This is like soy sauce, but it's healthy. Fraxamino.
So what makes this one healthy? Patients will say, wait, doc, that has soy in it. Yes, it's a soybean that has not been genetically modified. That's the difference.
That's the real deal right there.
That's the real deal.
And then if you want to make hummus, I mean, we could be here for hours,
Yeah.
but we won't try to do that. But for garbanzo beans, you can mix them up and make excellent hummus and veggies and
We got a
hummus.
great recipe. We got recipes for all this stuff. Anything that we're talking about, we have recipes for. And it's all research